Good morning. My name is Greg McClure, and I am the owner and sole inspector at Greg McClure Home Inspections, LLC. I am based out of New Baltimore, Michigan, and I'm here with Brandy this morning. We're in New Haven at this beautiful new construction home, and she's asked me to kind of go through the house and let everybody know what a home inspector does and what you can kind of expect when you hire a home inspector. Okay, so generally when I pull up to a house, I take a good look at the exterior, make sure that everything is plumb and everything is looking the way it should be. I start outside. So part of my inspection on the exterior is obviously the driveway, the walks, the grading of the property. We're not going to walk around the house today because it's been raining all night. Everything's muddy, but that is something that I would normally do. The exterior of the home, the windows, the type of, is it brick, is it vinyl siding, is it wood? I look at the roof, I look at the lights, I check the exterior electrical outlets. Any type of deck or patio gets inspected. When it comes to inspection of the roof, a roof like this will get inspected by ladder at eaves or ground level with my binoculars. Like I said, it's been raining all night and the roof is still wet, so it's a slippery condition for me, and that's something I will not walk that roof with it being wet. So I would walk around the house with the binoculars, with my ladder, and inspect what I can inspect. Check everything out. So once the exterior is done, I usually do the garage. So let's walk into the garage. So this is essentially, looks like about a 3.5 car garage. It's a beautiful garage. So what I would generally do, I would do a visual inspection of both the garage doors, making sure that the hardware is installed and it's functioning the way it should. I would check the operation of the doors, making sure that the door goes up and down, obviously. Check the condition of the garage door openers. I would check the service door. I would check the windows. I would check the electrical outlets, and I would check the walls and the ceilings, making sure that there's no obvious water stains, anything leaking in from the exterior. This particular garage, there is stairs going up into the house. And they've got railings installed, which is appropriate. The service door into the house is a steel entry door, and that should be a fire-rated door. You always need to have a fire-rated door going from an attached garage into a house. So let's go in, and we'll head upstairs. Should I go through my tool bag real quick?
Yeah, we can grab that.
Forgot about that. Sorry, folks. So just to give you guys an idea of what I carry in my truck on a daily basis, I do carry a respirator, and I'll wear this if I have to go into a crawl space. Crawl spaces can be moldy at times. But my tool bag, I carry flashlights, screwdrivers. I carry a gas detector to check for gas leaks, an infrared thermometer. I carry a carbon monoxide detector that I will turn on and check for carbon monoxide. One of my favorite tools is a moisture meter. Check for moisture in the walls if I see some water staining. Tape measure, some electrical testers, There is a bottle of gas leak detector soap in there, and of course some boot covers to keep mud and dirt off the carpeting. So that's what the tool bag looks like. So let's go back in.
Awesome.
So this time of year, because it's cold outside and it's below 60 degrees, I will not run the central air conditioning. Okay, summertime months when it's above 60, that'll be that's one of the first things I do is turn the central air on when I go into a house. This time of year, obviously I can't run it, but if I can get the serial number, the model number, and the make off the unit, I'll be able to tell you how old the outside compressor is. Okay, so once the exterior of the garage is done, what I like to do is start upstairs. I'll do the attic, and then I'll work my way through the bedrooms. So let's go on upstairs. I think it was in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So right up here is the access to the attic. This is the master bedroom closet. It's a nice size walk-in. But yeah, ordinarily I would put a tarp down, set my ladder up, and then go do a visual inspection up in the attic. And the stuff I'm looking for up in the attic is ventilation, the type of insulation and how much insulation's up there. Make sure the vents are not blocked. Make sure there's no water leaks, and make sure there's no mold up there. So that's the attic inspection. And then really what I do, this is the master bathroom. So when I'm in here, I check, I'll flush the toilet, make sure it's secure to the floor. And then, I'll run the sinks, check for leaks underneath. I do check all the electrical outlets to make sure that they're functioning properly, wired correctly. Make sure that the GFIs work. And that one there is working. This one should be GFI protected. And it is. So that's good. So the sinks, faucets, checking for drips. Same thing with the shower, same thing with the jacuzzi tub. I'll run the shower probably for about 4 to 5 minutes, fill up the tub, run the pump motors, check the windows, check the ceilings, check for ventilation. Make sure everything is the way it should be. Make sure really too with the showers, make sure that the grout is intact because you don't want water getting underneath the tile. So I did notice like that window there needs some correction because it's not secured. And then with the bedrooms, I'll check the functionality of the windows, make sure that they open and close the way they should, make sure that they lock. This one here is missing the screen, so I would note that in the report. The bedrooms. Turn the ceiling fans on. I check all the electrical outlets. I'll take the flashlight and I'll scan the ceiling for moisture stains. It's something you hope you don't find, but I spend a lot of time looking at the ceilings. So that gets done. The smoke detectors in this house are hardwired with a battery backup. So when you test it, you should hear them all alarm. And that is something that I do during my inspection as well. I'm not going to do that right now because I can't reach that.
Little tall.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, just just kind of walking through. We've got outlets in the hallways that I'll check. Ceiling fans working in here. Check the closets, of course. all that stuff. You know, I'll take a look at the carpeting and make sure that the carpeting's not ripped, not torn. Make sure there's no seams. We have another bathroom, so this would get inspected just like the master. This outlet is more than likely this is GFI protected from the master bathroom.
I heard the click.
We heard it click.
Yep.
So what I got to do is go back into the master, hit the reset, and then that'll power back up. But yeah, another bathroom. Another smaller, well, it's actually a pretty good sized bedroom. But yeah, windows, electrical outlets, smoke detectors, checking the ceiling for water stains and cracks. You know, quick look at the carpeting, the flooring. Shall we go downstairs?
Yes.
All right. I do check the banister, make sure that the banister's secure. They should not be loose. There should be no more than 4 to 6 inches between the ballast so that the little kids can't fall. You know, check the operation of the front door. I'm not sure there's a doorbell, so there's no doorbell installed. And I would just, you know, indicate that being not present on the report. And then we have the den. This den's got the French doors, so I would close those, make sure that they align properly. Again, check the windows, check the electrical outlets, scan the ceiling, and look at the floors. Make sure everything is the way it should be. We've got a closet there. Here's the basement. So there is a fireplace in the family room. This is like a sealed unit, gas logs, and we've got the fire lit. Make sure. So yeah, what I kind of basically do is just turn it on, turn it off. You know, make sure it's working the way it should. If it's a wood burning fireplace, I will take the time to make sure the damper works properly. Do my best to peek up and look inside the flue. Make sure it's relatively clean. If not, it gets noted in the report that it needs to be swept. So yeah, family room, again, ceilings, electrical outlets, windows and doors, the flooring, making sure that there's adequate ventilation. So in the kitchen, I'm not required to run appliances, but as a courtesy to my customers, I will, you know. This case here, we do have a dishwasher that's installed, so I would do a test cycle on that. If there's a garbage disposal, I would run the garbage disposal, but I would check for leaks. Windows, electrical outlets, the hood fan over the stove would get inspected. And then if there was a refrigerator installed, that would get inspected too. But the cabinets, I kind of look at a representative number of cabinets. I'll test the drawers, the operation of everything. Like this kitchen here, I would recommend recaulking where the granite meets the tile, because you can see that the caulk is all wore out. That's an easy fix. This is where the stove is going to go, and I don't see a gas line, or a 220 electrical outlet, so I would recommend, you know, that the builder install something there. Okay, let's see. We've got a programmable thermostat, so that would get noted on the report. We've got a half bathroom down here, and again, the bathroom inspection toilet, sink, faucet, check for leaks. Make sure that the electrical is GFI protected. Ceilings, flooring, the door. This is our laundry room. So I see a dryer vent, which is good. I see a capped gas line with a valve in the off position, which is good. GFI plug on the wall. Your hot and cold hose connections for your washer with the drain. Drain's right here, underneath that cap. And then I would run the sink, make sure that there's no leaks. Okay? Again, check the ceilings, check the doors, check the floors. Let's go downstairs. Nice big pantry here. So I make sure that there are railings, secured railings going down the stairs, which there are. There is a half bath down here in the basement, which I think is really, really nice. And again, toilets, sinks, electrical, flooring, doors, all that is part of the bathroom inspection. Let's see. That's a storage room there. Here's basically our mechanical room. This is a Siemens electrical panel box. I'm pretty much required to remove the cover, which I will, and then I'll look at all of the breakers, make sure nothing is double tapped, make sure that everything is appropriate the way it should be, and then everything gets put back together.
And then does that one have extra space on it?
Yeah, another thing that I do note is if there is extra room, if they want to, this basement's pretty much finished and there's already electrical down here, but if, let's say you wanted to put in a hot tub on the back patio, you would have room in here for electric.
Would you also be able to hook up a generator to that?
Yeah,
or would you'd have space on there to do that if you wanted?
Yeah, the generators are a little bit different. The contractors put in a sub panel and it kind of runs separate from that, but that's, yeah. So that one that's in good shape. So we've got the sump pump over here. What the sump pump does is it gathers the water from underneath the basement, collects it in that pit, and then the pump will kick on when the pit gets full, essentially, and it transfers the water out to the storm. But that is part of the inspection, so that would get inspected. The hot water tank gets inspected. The furnace is right next to Brandy. I take the covers off, I run them, I check for carbon monoxide, I check the filters. There's the filter right there. That's a brand new one. Just make sure that everything is working the way it should. And then, the report will indicate how old, the furnace, the hot water, and the central air conditioning are. And then, so part of the inspection down in the basement is identifying what type of drain waste vent system that there is, what type of water lines that there are, basically the structure and the build of the house that is being inspected. The windows, the electrical outlets will get inspected. Again, a lot of looking up, making sure the electrical is ran the way it should be. There's adequate heating and cooling register vents down here. It's a nice dry basement, so it looks like it's in pretty good shape.
I see egress window.
Egress
do you do
window,
anything?
yeah, that's that's usually an option from a builder. So having an egress window in a basement will allow the homeowner to put a bedroom and have somebody basically permanently sleep in the basement. So in case there's a fire, they can get out via the window or the stairs going up.
And then I think, don't quote me, but the last builder I talked to, they said it's part of the new building code for any new builds that they do.
Okay, could be.
They have to have the egress in there if they're having a bath, other things like that, because so many people are turning their basements into living space.
Gotcha, okay.
So it's just kind of turned into the norm for anything newer.
Gotcha, okay. So that's, folks, that's essentially what a home inspection is. Generally, my inspections take closer to about 3 hours to do. I do take a lot of pictures. My reporting is done on a Microsoft Pro Surface tablet, and I've got some really nice home inspection software on there. And I can put the pictures in. You guys will get the pictures if you hire me. After the inspection is done, what I like to do is go through the marginal and defective items with you while we're at the house. That way you can ask questions and we can go look at the stuff that I found that needs to be fixed. And then what I do, usually I can get home between jobs and I'll get the report emailed out to you. You'll get the report the same day. And then, you'll get a business card and feel free to call me if you have any questions, basically. But that's it. Again, my name is Greg McClure. The best way to get a hold of me is my cell phone, 586-321-9610. I've worked with Brandy before. She trusts me, so you can get a hold of her if you need to get a hold of me.
Well, Greg, thank you so much for taking us on a walkthrough, and I hope everyone is a little more informed on what to look for when they're purchasing a new home.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.